Tyler didn't look at me when he said it, just kept his eyes on that bowl of cereal. Cheerios, the plain kind, because that's all I'd bought that week. The milk was making little ripples every time he moved the spoon, but he wasn't eating, just moving it around. Dad, he said, Mom's been taking money. And I'd been married to Jessica for 12 years. Been through the lean times, the hospital bills, her father's funeral. I thought I knew what her voice sounded like when she was lying. Turns out I didn't know a goddamn thing. Well, what do you mean, buddy? I kept it soft. That's what you do with a 10-year-old. But my stomach was already dropping. He looked up. His eyes were older than they should have been. That's the detail I can't shake. My boy's eyes looked like they'd already been through a divorce. He was 10. Your college fund, he said. She's been moving it. I saw the emails. How much? All of it, I think. 127,000. And he said it like he was reading a grocery receipt. She sent it to someone named Marcus. Started 4 months ago. The Cheerios were getting soggy. Tyler finally took a bite. There's more, he said. That's when I knew I wasn't the father I thought I was, because I let my 10-year-old boy keep talking. She's leaving, next Tuesday. There's a flight confirmation. To Costa Rica, her and Marcus. I found the quote that night after Tyler was at my brother Ray's. Took me 40 minutes of going through Jessica's desk before I found it, tucked in a folder labeled Home Repairs 2024, Best Line Roofing, Professional Letterhead, Detailed Breakdown, Tear-off, Felt, Shingles, Flashing, Labor. Total, $8,400. The paper felt expensive. Good weight. I turned it over, then face up again, and held it to the light. That's when I saw it. The phone number was 1 digit too long. Small thing. Easy to miss. I called it anyway. The number you have reached is not in service. I sat there at her desk. The one I'd bought her 3 Christmases ago. Solid oak. Because she said she wanted a nice place to do the bills. And I looked at that fake quote. Thought about how many hours I'd worked to earn $8,400. Thought about the Saturday call I'd taken, crawling around in some banker's attic while Jessica was probably on the phone with Marcus. The desk had a coffee ring on it, left side near the edge. From my mug, probably. I'd sat here with her 100 times, going over the budget, planning Tyler's birthday parties, signing tax returns. Trusting her with everything. I opened the bank statements next. The real ones. Tyler had written a note on a post-it stuck to the first page. Start here, Dad. Yellow highlighted parts, smart kid, organized. He'd marked every transfer out of the college fund. A 529 plan we'd set up when Tyler was born. Both our names as co-owners. Small amounts at first, $2,000. Then $3,500, then $5,000. Getting bolder. The last one was $18,000 just 3 days ago. She'd had every legal right to access it. That's what made it so perfect. No fraud flags, no alerts. Just a mother moving her son's future into her boyfriend's account, a few thousand at a time. There were other things too. Cash advances on credit cards I didn't know we had. A personal loan from some online lender, 29% interest. My name was on it. She'd forged my signature, probably. I'd never seen the paperwork. The total damage, best I could figure, was close to $160,000. I should have been angry. Should have been throwing things. But I wasn't. I was just tired. That bone-deep tired you get after working a 16-hour day in August. The house was quiet. Tyler's room, empty. Jessica, still not home. She'd texted 2 hours ago saying she was having dinner with her sister. Sure. Her sister, who lived in Costa Rica and went by Marcus. I found myself staring at our wedding photo on the shelf above the desk. Both of us, young, stupid, happy. Her in that dress her mother had altered 3 times. Me in the rented tux that was too tight in the shoulders. We looked like we believed in something. Here's what nobody tells you about betrayal. It's not the big moment that breaks you. It's the small stuff. It's realizing that every time she kissed you goodbye, she was probably thinking about him. It's knowing that when she said I love you before bed, she was already planning which lies to tell tomorrow. I put the wedding photo face down. Outside, headlights swept across the living room window. Jessica's car in the driveway. I left everything on the desk exactly where I'd found it. Stood up. My knees cracked. I was 43 years old and my knees cracked like an old man's. Jessica used to tease me about it. The front door opened. Andrew, you still up? I walked out to meet her. She was carrying 2 bags of groceries, Target bags. She set them on the counter and started unpacking. Sorry I'm late, she said. You know how my sister gets. We just kept talking. I watched her put away milk, bread, a box of Tyler's favorite cookies, the chocolate chip ones with the soft centers. Still playing mother. How is she? I asked. Oh, same drama, different day. She laughed. Not her real laugh. The one she used when she was lying. I'd heard that laugh a lot lately. I just hadn't known what it meant. Her phone was on the counter, face down. She kept glancing at it while she unpacked. Where's Tyler? She asked. Ray's. Thought I'd give him a night with his cousin. Oh. She paused, holding a can of soup. Everything okay? Yeah, Just needed some quiet. And she put the soup in the cabinet, moved on to the cereal, more Cheerios. She knew we were running low. Good wife. Attentive mother. The phone buzzed. She grabbed it fast, checked the screen. Her face did something, relief maybe, or disappointment. Work? I asked. Yeah, just a client. She put the phone in her back pocket. I'm beat. Think I'm going to take a shower and head to bed early. We need to talk, I said. Tomorrow morning. Tyler's staying at Ray's tonight. She stopped. The last grocery bag sat on the counter, half unpacked. Talk about what? Tomorrow, I said, after we've both had some sleep. She studied my face, looking for something. Whatever it was, she didn't find it because she nodded. Okay, tomorrow. She left the bag on the counter. I heard her footsteps on the stairs. The bathroom door closed, water running. I unpacked the rest of the groceries, put them away in the right places, folded the bags and put them in the recycling, wiped down the counter. Then I went to the living room and called a lawyer. The lawyer's name was Sarah Chen. My brother Ray had used her for his divorce 3 years back. She answered on the third ring. This is Sarah. Ms. Chen, my name is Andrew Mitchell. My brother Ray Klein recommended you. I know it's late, but it's 9:30. I'm still at the office. What do you need, Mr. Mitchell? I told her. Not all of it, just the highlights. College fund, forged loans, flight to Costa Rica. She didn't interrupt. Do you have documentation? She asked when I finished. Yes. My son. I stopped. My 10-year-old son found it. Emails, bank transfers, flight confirmations. He made screenshots, put it on a USB drive. There was a pause. Your 10-year-old, she said. Yeah. Mr. Mitchell, I'm going to need you to come in first thing tomorrow morning. Bring the USB drive. Bring any bank statements you have access to. Don't confront your wife. Don't tell her you know. Can you do that? I already told her we need to talk. What did she say? She said, okay. Another pause. I could hear her typing. All right, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go to bed. You're going to act normal. Tomorrow morning, you come to my office first. I'll text you the address. Then we figure out next steps. Do not, under any circumstances, have that conversation with her before we talk. Understood? Understood. And Mr. Mitchell, get some sleep if you can. You're going to need it. She hung up. I sat there in the dark living room with my phone in my hand. Upstairs, the shower shut off. I heard Jessica moving around in the bathroom, brushing her teeth. The same routine she had had for 12 years. I thought about Costa Rica, about Marcus, about how Jessica had looked at that phone when it buzzed, that split second of something on her face before she controlled it. I thought about Tyler, eating soggy Cheerios, telling me my marriage was over. My knees cracked when I stood up. I didn't sleep, just lay there next to Jessica in the dark, listening to her breathe. She slept like always, on her side, one hand tucked under the pillow. Same position for 12 years. I kept thinking about the college fund, about how we'd opened that account the week Tyler was born. I'd worked 70-hour weeks that summer, double shifts, weekend emergency calls. Every dollar mattered back then. Jessica had been the one who researched 529 plans, who called the financial advisor, who set up the automatic transfers. For our son's future, she'd said. She'd meant it. I'd seen it in her eyes. Or maybe I'd just seen what I wanted to see. When the alarm went off at 6, she was already awake, staring at the ceiling. I'm going to make coffee, I said. Andrew, her voice was quiet. Whatever you want to talk about, we can work through it, okay? I got out of bed, my knees cracked. Coffee first, I said. Sarah Chen's office was in a converted house downtown. Second floor, above a dental practice. The waiting room smelled like old carpet and coffee that had been sitting too long. She was younger than I'd expected, maybe 40. Wore a suit that looked expensive but not flashy. She shook my hand and led me to her office. USB drive? She asked. I handed it to her. She plugged it into her laptop. Didn't say anything while she clicked through the files. Just made notes on a legal pad. After 5 minutes, she sat back. Your son is remarkably thorough, she said, no smile. Does he understand what this information means? He's the one who told me. I see. And she made another note. Mr. Mitchell, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest. Did you coach your son to find this information? No, he did it on his own. Did you know he was accessing your wife's email? Not until yesterday. She tapped her pen on the pad. Here's the situation. Your wife had legal authority to access that 529 plan. Both of you were co-owners. The transfers themselves aren't illegal. She had the right to move that money. But let me finish. What makes this actionable is how she used the funds. 529 plans are for educational expenses. Moving it to a personal account, especially a third party's account, is misappropriation. Breach of fiduciary duty. We can fight this. What about the forged signature on the loan? That's fraud. Clear cut. And it gives us leverage. She pulled up something on her computer. I'm going to make a call. There's a prosecutor I work with sometimes. If we can show a pattern of financial fraud, your wife is looking at serious criminal exposure. I don't want to put Tyler through a trial. Neither do I, but your wife doesn't need to know that. She picked up her phone. What I'm hoping is that the threat of prosecution will bring her to the table. Full asset disclosure, sole custody to you. She surrenders any claim to marital property in exchange for us not pursuing criminal charges. She'd go for that? Depends how badly she wants to avoid jail. Sarah started dialing. But there's something else. Your son moving that money, the crypto wallet, that's problematic. My stomach dropped. How problematic? Technically, he accessed accounts without authorization, transferred funds that weren't entirely his to control. If your wife wanted to make trouble, she could claim he, and by extension you, stole from her, and it was his college fund. I know, and any reasonable person would see it that way. But reasonable doesn't always win in court. She held up a hand. Here's what I think happened. Your son saw what was coming and took defensive action to protect his own future. It's messy, legally speaking, but it's defensible. Especially if we can show your wife was about to move that money out of the country, as the phone was ringing on speaker. How defensible? I asked. Enough that I don't think any DA would touch it. A 10-year-old protecting his college fund from his mother's boyfriend? That's not a case anyone wants to prosecute. She straightened as someone answered. Jim, Sarah Chen, I need a favor. I left her office an hour later with a plan. Sarah would reach out to the bank, flag the suspicious transfers. She'd contact the prosecutor's office about the loan fraud, and she'd draft divorce papers with sole custody to me. Don't go home yet, she'd said. Give me until end of day. I want to have as much ammunition as possible before you talk to her. And so I drove, just circled the neighborhood, past the elementary school where Tyler had started kindergarten, the park where we'd taught him to ride a bike, the grocery store where Jessica and I used to shop together on Sunday mornings. Normal life? Ordinary life. All of it built on something I hadn't seen crumbling. My phone rang around 3. Sarah. The bank flagged the account, she said. They're opening a fraud investigation. And I got a call back from the prosecutor's office. They're interested. Interested how? Interested enough that your wife is going to have a very uncomfortable conversation with a fraud investigator. Probably tomorrow. And Andrew? The bank told her not to leave the state. I pulled over, sat there in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven. What does that mean? I asked. It means her flight to Costa Rica isn't happening. It means she's trapped. And it means when you go home tonight, she's going to know something is very, very wrong. Jessica's car was in the driveway when I got home. I sat in my truck for a minute, looking at the house. 15 years of mortgage payments. New roof 5 years ago, a real one, not the fake quote she'd shown me. Fresh paint last summer. Our house, our home. The place where we'd brought Tyler when he was born. Where we'd celebrated birthdays and Christmases and promotions, all of it about to come apart. I went inside. She was in the kitchen, pacing, her phone in her hand. She looked up when I walked in. Her face was wrong, pale, eyes red. The bank called, she said. Okay. Yeah, they're investigating the college fund. They asked me about... She stopped, looked at me, really looked at me. You did this. I set my keys on the counter. We need to talk, I said. You went through my emails. Her voice was shaking, not scared, angry. You had no right. I didn't, I said. Tyler did. That stopped her. What? Tyler found your emails, the bank transfers, the flight confirmation, all of it. He's the one who told me. She sat down, just dropped into a kitchen chair like her legs gave out. He's 10 years old, she whispered. Old enough to use a computer, old enough to see his college fund disappearing, old enough to know what it meant when you were on the phone at midnight, laughing. She stopped, started again. Where is he? Ray's. He's staying there until this is sorted out. Andrew, you have to understand. Understand what? That you've been stealing from our son for 4 months? That you were going to leave next Tuesday? That you forged my signature on a loan I didn't even know existed? Her phone buzzed. She looked at it, turned it face down on the table. Was that Marcus? I asked. She didn't answer. Doesn't matter, I said. I talked to a lawyer today. She's very good. She's also already talked to the prosecutor's office about the loan fraud. And the bank's fraud department has flagged every transfer you made. I had a right to access that account. You had a right to access it for Tyler's education, not to fund your new life in Costa Rica. How did... She stopped, looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time. You're not yelling? No. Why aren't you yelling? I pulled out a chair, sat down across from her. My knees cracked. Because I've been up for 36 hours, I said. Because I'm tired, Jess. I'm so goddamn tired. And yelling won't get Tyler's college fund back. Her phone buzzed again. This time she picked it up. Read something. Her face went even paler. What? I asked. Marcus. Her voice was barely there. He says... She set the phone down. He says this is too complicated. He's out. I should have felt something. Satisfaction, maybe. But I just felt empty. The bank told you not to leave the state, I said. She nodded. My lawyer wants to meet with you and your attorney. Tomorrow, if possible. She's going to propose a settlement. What kind of settlement? Sole custody of Tyler to me. You surrender any claim to marital assets, the house, my retirement, everything. In exchange, I don't push for criminal prosecution on the loan fraud. And if I say no, then we go to court, the prosecutor files charges, the bank investigation continues, and you explain to a judge why you stole your son's college fund to run away with your boyfriend. She was crying now, quiet, no sound, just tears running down her face. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said. How far did you mean for it to go? She didn't answer. You need to get a lawyer, I said. A real one. Sarah sent over her contact information. She'll be expecting a call tomorrow. I stood up, walked to the stairs. Andrew. Her voice stopped me. Can I see Tyler, just to explain? No. He's my son. He's the kid you were going to leave behind. He's the kid who had to protect his own future because his mother wouldn't. So no, you don't get to explain. Not yet. I went upstairs, packed a bag. When I came back down, she was still sitting at the kitchen table, phone in her hand, staring at nothing. I'll be at Ray's, I said. Your lawyer can reach mine. I loved you, she said. I did. At the beginning. I stopped at the door. I know, I said. That's the worst part. Tyler was in Ray's basement when I got there, playing video games with his cousin. He looked up when I came down the stairs. Dad? Hey, buddy. He paused the game. Did you talk to her? Yeah. What did she say? I sat down on the couch. Ray's basement smelled like old carpet and the cedar air freshener he bought in bulk. Same smell from when we were kids. She said she didn't mean for it to go this far, I told him. Tyler thought about that. What did that mean? I don't know. He unpaused the game. Started playing again, didn't look at me. Tyler. Yeah? You did the right thing, telling me. All of it. You did the right thing. He died in the game, respawned, kept playing. I know, he said. I just wish I didn't have to. Ray appeared at the top of the stairs. Andrew, you staying? If that's okay. Guest room's made up. You want dinner? I looked at Tyler. Still playing, shoulders tight. Yeah, I said. That'd be good. Sarah called the next morning. I took it outside on Ray's porch. Jessica's lawyer called, she said. She's ready to talk settlement. That was fast. Marcus dumped her. She's got no flight, no boyfriend, a fraud investigation, and potential criminal charges. She knows she's trapped. I heard papers rustling. They're proposing a counteroffer. She keeps the house, you keep custody. No, I told them that. She forfeits all marital assets or this goes to court. They're going to call back this afternoon. What about Tyler? I asked. The crypto thing. Prosecutor isn't interested. I explained the situation. 10-year-old protecting his own college fund. They laughed. Said if they tried to prosecute that, they'd get crucified in the press. Something loosened in my chest. Something I hadn't realized I'd been holding. So he's clear? He's clear. Smart kid, by the way. The way he documented everything, most adults don't have that kind of forethought. Yeah, I said. He's smart. Too smart. Smart enough to see what was coming before his own father did. I'll call you when I hear back, Sarah said. But Andrew, start thinking about what comes next. This settlement happens, Tyler's going to have questions. About his mom, about why she did it. You need to be ready for that. I know. Do you, because in my experience, the hardest part isn't the divorce. It's explaining to your kid why their other parent chose to leave. She hung up. I sat there on Ray's porch in the November cold. The neighbor's dog was barking. Somebody down the street was raking leaves. Normal sounds, normal life. Tyler came outside, stood next to me. She's going to give up everything, isn't she? He said. Looks like it. Ought to stay out of jail. Yeah. He sat down on the step, pulled his knees up. He was wearing the same hoodie he'd had on 2 days ago when he told me about the college fund. Navy blue. There was a stain on the sleeve from where he'd spilled juice last week. Do you think she ever really wanted to be a mom? He asked. Jesus Christ. 10 years old and already asking questions I couldn't answer. I think she wanted to, I said. At first, I think things got complicated. That's not an answer. I know. We sat there. The dog stopped barking. The rake scraped against pavement. I moved the money back, Tyler said. Last night. From the crypto wallet to a new account. I made you the only custodian this time, so she can't touch it. Tyler. I know, I probably should have asked first, but I couldn't sleep. Kept thinking about, what if something happened to the wallet? What if I lost the password? So I moved it. It's safe now. 10 years old, making financial decisions in the middle of the night, protecting what was his because no one else would. Thank you, I said. He looked at me. For what? For being smarter than me. That's not, it is. You saw it coming. You prepared. You saved what you could. I was just working, thinking everything was fine. You were working to take care of us. Yeah, well, a lot of good that did. He leaned against my shoulder, small for his age, still my kid. We're going to be okay, Dad, he said. Right? Yeah, I said. We're going to be okay. I didn't know if I believed it, but I said it anyway. Sarah called back that afternoon. Jessica's lawyer had agreed to the terms. Full settlement. Sole custody to me. Jessica surrendered all claims to marital property in exchange for the prosecutor's office agreeing to conditional declination on the fraud charges. What does that mean? I asked. It means she enters a plea in abeyance. No jail time if she complies with the settlement terms for 3 years. One violation and the charges get filed. She'll have it on her record, but she won't be convicted unless she screws up. And Tyler. DA declined to even look at it. Far as they're concerned, a minor protecting his own funds from misappropriation isn't something they're touching. And we signed papers the next week. Jessica's lawyer's office. Gray carpet, generic art on the walls, the smell of burnt coffee. Jessica wouldn't look at me. Just signed where they told her to sign, page after page, our marriage reduced to lines on documents. When it was done, her lawyer gathered everything up. Sarah did the same. Andrew. Jessica's voice was small. Can I say goodbye to Tyler? I looked at Sarah. She gave me a small shake of her head. Not yet, I said. When? When you figured out how to explain to him why you were going to leave him behind. Her lawyer touched her arm. Jessica, we should go. They left. Sarah started packing her briefcase. You did the right thing, she said. Seeing her right now would just confuse him. Yeah, but eventually he's going to ask, and you're going to have to let him make that choice. I know. She handed me a folder. Custody agreement, settlement terms, everything. The college fund is legally secured now. You're the sole custodian. She can't touch it. Tyler already moved it to a new account. Sarah paused. When? A few days ago. Made me the only one who can access it. Of course he did. She almost smiled. That kid is going to do something impressive someday. Just try to make sure it's legal. That night, I sat down with Tyler in Ray's living room. Ray had taken his kids to a movie, gave us space. I need you to walk me through something, I said. The crypto wallet, how you did it. Tyler got his laptop, opened it. His hands were quick on the keyboard, confident. I started researching after I found the first transfer, he said. Knew if I was going to stop it, I had to understand how it worked. He pulled up a folder. Screenshots, notes, links, all organized by date. I watched like 15 YouTube tutorials, read forums, learned about decentralized wallets, the ones that don't require ID verification. No KYC. KYC? Know your customer. Banks and exchanges have to verify identity, but decentralized wallets don't. I just needed an email address. He clicked through screens, showed me transaction logs, wallet addresses, timestamps. When I saw the big transfer coming, the 18,000, I knew I had to move fast. I created the wallet, got the recovery phrase, tested it with a small amount first. How small? $20 from my savings. Made sure I could send and receive. Then I waited until Mom processed the next transfer into Marcus's account. He pulled up a screenshot. Bank transfer, Jessica's name, Marcus Fisher, account numbers. I had his account information from the emails, so I initiated a transfer request using Mom's credentials. Tyler. I know it wasn't legal, Dad, but if I didn't do it, that money was gone. She was leaving in 3 days. By the time anyone could have stopped her, she'd have been in Costa Rica with everything. He wasn't wrong. Show me the rest, I said. He walked me through it, step by step. How he'd moved the money from Marcus's account to the crypto wallet. How he'd set up 3 backup copies of the recovery phrase. Written down, memorized, encrypted file on a separate USB drive. I know the wallet was a gray area, he said. That's why I moved it back to a real bank account as soon as I could. Set you up as the custodian. It's all legal now. I looked at this kid, my kid, 10 years old, methodical, prepared, thinking 3 steps ahead while I'd been walking around blind. How did you know how to do all this? I asked. He shrugged. YouTube, Reddit, forums for people who do crypto. Most of them were pretty helpful once I asked the right questions. You asked strangers on the internet for help stealing money? I asked them how to protect funds from unauthorized transfers. I didn't tell them it was my mom. Jesus. Tyler, do you understand how serious this was? If anything had gone wrong, it didn't. But it could have. You could have lost the recovery phrase. The wallet could have been hacked. A dozen things could have. But they didn't. And now the money's safe, and Mom can't take it. He was right. Again. I hated that he was right. There's something else, he said. Of course there was. He pulled up a log file. Mom tried to access the wallet. After I moved the money, 17 times over 2 days, she had the wallet address, must have seen it in the transaction history, but she didn't have the recovery phrase, so she was locked out. 17 times. Jessica, panicking, trying to get to the money, realizing it was gone, realizing her 10-year-old son had outmaneuvered her. When did you move it back to the bank? I asked. The night you stayed here. Couldn't sleep, kept thinking about what if something happened. What if I forgot the phrase? What if the service went down? So I opened a new custodial account, needed your social security number, got it from the tax documents at home, and transferred everything. You needed my social... Tyler, that's identity theft. You're my dad. I didn't steal your identity. I just used your information to protect my college fund. I rubbed my eyes. They were burning. When was the last time I'd slept more than 4 hours? Dad? His voice was smaller now, younger. Are you mad? No, I'm not mad. Are you disappointed? I looked at him, really looked at him. This kid who'd been carrying this weight for months, who'd seen the danger coming, who'd done what needed to be done because the adults in his life hadn't. I'm proud of you, I said, and I'm sorry. For what? For not seeing it, for making you handle this alone. You didn't make me. I did, by being oblivious, by trusting her when I should have been paying attention. Tyler closed the laptop. You trusted her because you're supposed to trust your wife. That's not oblivious. That's just normal. Normal doesn't feel like much of an excuse. Dad, he looked at me, 10 years old with old eyes. I'm glad it was me who found out. If you'd found out first, you would have tried to protect me from it. You would have tried to handle everything yourself, and she would have left anyway. He was right. Of course he was right. But I found out, he continued, and I knew what to do, and now it's over. We're okay. Are we? Yeah, we are. I wanted to believe him. I didn't see Jessica again for 3 weeks. Sarah handled everything. Papers, signatures, asset transfers. The house went on the market. I didn't want it. Couldn't live there anymore. Every room had memories I didn't want to keep. Tyler and I moved into a rental. Small place. 2 bedrooms. Walking distance from his school. Ray helped us move our stuff. Furniture, boxes, Tyler's things from his room. We left everything of Jessica's behind. The college fund sat in its new account, $89,000, not the full $127,000 we'd started with, but more than I'd thought we'd save. Tyler checked it every Sunday night, 8 o'clock, like clockwork. Just making sure, he'd say. I didn't tell him he didn't need to, because I got it. Some things you have to see with your own eyes. March came, Tyler turned 11, no party, he didn't want one. Just the 2 of us, pizza, and a new laptop for his coding classes. Is Mom going to call? He asked. I don't know. She didn't. The settlement had included a provision for contact. Jessica could request supervised parenting time after 6 months. She hadn't. Sarah said that was normal. Said a lot of people needed time to process before they could face their kids. I thought it was just easier for Jessica to pretend Tyler didn't exist. Tyler threw himself into school. Straight A's. Perfect attendance. His teacher called me in for a conference. Tyler's doing excellent work, she said. But he's different this year. Quieter. More serious. Has something happened at home? Divorce, what I said. It's been hard on him. She nodded. Understanding. He's in our advanced coding program now. The instructor says he's the best student she's had in years. Learns faster than kids twice his age? That's good. It is. But she also says he's very cautious. Checks his work 3-4 times before submitting. Asks a lot of questions about security, encryption, data protection. I thought about Tyler at his laptop. 17 failed login attempts. Recovery phrases memorized. Backup systems in place. He likes to be prepared, I said. I understand. Just wanted you to know. Sometimes kids who've had to grow up fast develop these patterns. Hypervigilance. Need for control. It's normal, given what he's been through. But it's something to watch. Spring turned to early summer. Tyler finished 5th grade, top of his class. His coding instructor recommended him for a summer program at the community college, Cybersecurity Fundamentals. Normally for high school students, but they'd make an exception. Do you want to do it? I asked. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Cool, like it was just a hobby. Not like he'd already successfully executed a cryptocurrency transfer to protect six figures from international theft. Okay, I said, we'll make it work. On that night, he showed me a project he'd been working on. A program that monitored bank accounts for unusual activity. See, you set parameters, he explained. Normal spending patterns. If anything falls outside the pattern, large withdrawals, transfers to new accounts, whatever, it sends an alert. Tyler. I know it's because of Mom, but it's also just practical. People get their accounts compromised all the time. This could help. He wasn't wrong. But it still hurt to see. It's really good, I said. He saved the file, closed his laptop. Dad, can I ask you something? Yeah. Do you think Mom misses me? There it was. The question I'd been waiting for. I think she does, I said. In her own way. That's not really an answer. I know. He picked at a thread on his jeans. I miss her sometimes. Not the her from this year. The her from before, when she used to help with homework and make those cookies I liked. Before Marcus. That's okay. Is it? To miss someone who is going to leave me? Jesus Christ. 11 years old. Yeah, I said. It's okay. You're not missing the person who left. You're missing who you thought she was. That's different. He thought about that. Do you miss her? Sometimes. Not as much as I thought I would. Why not? Because I'm too busy being grateful for what I still have. He looked at me. Me? You. The letter came in late May. Tyler brought it in from the mailbox. Law office return address. It's from Mom's lawyer, he said. I opened it, read it twice. Jessica was requesting supervised parenting time. 2 hours, neutral location, court-approved supervisor present. What do you want to do? I asked Tyler. I don't know. You don't have to see her if you're not ready. Would it hurt her if I said no? Maybe, but that's not your responsibility. He took the letter, read it himself. 2 hours, he said. Yeah. Someone else would be there? The whole time? The whole time. What would we even talk about? I don't know. Whatever you want, or nothing. You'd be in control. Yeet. He folded the letter, handed it back. Okay, he said, I'll see her. You sure? No, but I want to anyway. I have questions. Of course he did. I called Sarah that afternoon. Tyler wants to do the visit, I said. You're sure? He's sure. Says he has questions. Of course he does. She paused. Andrew, I need to prepare you for something. Jessica's lawyer says she's been in therapy, says she's doing better, working on herself. Good for her. She's going to want to explain, to apologize, to make Tyler understand why she did what she did. And Tyler doesn't owe her understanding or forgiveness. He can listen if he wants, but he doesn't have to give her anything. I know. Do you? Because in my experience, parents want their kids to have closure, want them to move on, and sometimes that pressure to forgive comes from the parent who stayed, not the one who left. I sat down. My knees cracked. I won't pressure him, I said. Good. Because whatever happens in that room, Tyler needs to know you've got his back, even if he chooses to have a relationship with her eventually, even if he doesn't. Your job is to support him, not to manage the outcome. When's the visit? I'll set it up for next week. Thursday afternoon, I'll send you the details. She hung up. I found Tyler in his room, at his laptop, as usual, working on code. It's set, I said. Next Thursday. He didn't look up, just kept typing. Okay. You can change your mind anytime? I know. He saved his work, turned to face me. Dad, what if she's different? What if she really has changed? Then that's good. It doesn't change what happened, but it's still good. And what if she hasn't? Then you'll know. Either way, you'll know. He nodded. Turned back to his laptop. I stood there for a minute, watching him. This kid who'd saved us, who'd been smarter and braver than he should have had to be. Tyler. Yeah? Whatever she says, whatever you feel after, it's all okay. You don't have to decide anything right away. You don't have to forgive her or hate her or anything. You can just be, okay? He was quiet for a long time. Okay, he said finally. I left him to his code. The supervised visit was scheduled at a family services center, neutral ground, beige walls, comfortable chairs that had seen better days, a table with a box of tissues. The supervisor was a woman named Linda, maybe 50, kind eyes. She explained the rules to Tyler before Jessica arrived. Your mom can talk to you, you can talk to her, But if at any point you're uncomfortable, you tell me and we stop. This is your time. You're in control. Understand? Tyler nodded. Do you have questions before she gets here? No. Okay. I'll be right there the whole time. Your dad will be in the waiting room. We'll come get him when time's up. I squeezed Tyler's shoulder. You've got this. I know. But he looks small in that chair. 11 years old, waiting to see the mother who'd chosen to leave him. I sat in the waiting room for what felt like hours. It was 30 minutes. Sarah had given me some documents to review, settlement follow-up, asset transfer confirmations. I couldn't focus on any of it. Ray called. How's he doing? He asked. He's in there now. No, and you're losing your mind. Pretty much. He's a tough kid. He'll be fine. Yeah. Andrew, he'll be fine. I wanted to believe him. When the door opened, Tyler came out first. His face was unreadable. Jessica followed. She looked thinner, older. Her eyes found mine for a second, then looked away. Linda walked them both out. Tyler did very well, she said to me. Very mature. Tyler didn't say anything, just stood next to me. Jessica's lawyer was waiting by the exit. She touched Jessica's arm. They left together. You want to tell me about it? I asked Tyler in the car. Not yet. Okay. We drove in silence. He stared out the window. When we got home, he went straight to his room. I heard his laptop boot up, checked his bank account probably, making sure nothing had changed. He came out an hour later, found me in the kitchen. She apologized, he said. Okay. Said she made terrible choices, said she was selfish, said she understands if I never forgive her. What did you say? I asked her why she did it. What did she say? Tyler sat down at the table. Same table where he'd told me about the college fund. Seemed like a lifetime ago. It had been 7 months. She said she felt trapped, like her life had become this thing she didn't choose, wife, mother, boring. She said Marcus made her feel alive again. I didn't say anything. I asked her if I made her feel trapped. Tyler continued. If being my mom was part of what she wanted to escape from? Jesus. 11 years old, asking the questions I couldn't. She cried, he said. Said no. Said I was the best thing she ever did. Said leaving me was the worst mistake of her life. And do you believe her? He thought about it. I believe she believes it now. I don't know if I believe it was a mistake she wouldn't make again. Too smart. Way too goddamn smart. She asked if we could have regular visits, he said. If I'd be willing to see her again. Build toward unsupervised time eventually. What did you tell her? I said I'd think about it. He looked at me. Is that okay? It's your choice. But what do you think I should do? I sat down across from him. I think you should do whatever feels right for you. If you want to see her, we'll make it work. If you don't, that's okay too. And if you change your mind in either direction, that's also okay. You wouldn't be mad if I wanted to see her. No, she's your mom. That doesn't just go away. But I know what she did, but that's between me and her. Your relationship with her is separate. You get to decide what that looks like. He was quiet for a minute. I told her I'd do one more visit next month, he said, to see how it goes. But I also told her I needed her to understand something. What? That I'm not the same kid I was before. That what she did changed me. That I'm glad I found out because it taught me to protect myself. But that I shouldn't have had to learn that from my own mother. My throat was tight. What did she say? I asked. She said she understood. That she was proud of me. That she hoped someday I could forgive her. And what did you say? I said maybe, but not yet. He stood up, went to the refrigerator, got himself a glass of milk, poured it carefully, put the milk back, wiped up a drop he'd spilled. Habits we'd taught him. Clean up your mess. Leave things better than you found them. Dad? Yeah? I'm glad I told you. Back in November. Even though it was hard, I'm glad I didn't keep it secret. Me too. And I'm glad we moved. This place is better, smaller but better. Yeah? Yeah, the old house had too much of her in it. This one's just ours? Just ours. He drank his milk, rinsed the glass, put it in the dishwasher. I'm going to finish my coding homework, he said. Okay. He paused at the doorway. Thanks for letting me decide. About seeing her. Always. He went to his room. I heard his door close. His laptop hum to life. I sat there at the kitchen table in our smaller, better house. Thought about Jessica crying. About Tyler asking if she felt trapped. About an 11-year-old having the wisdom to say, not yet, instead of never. My phone buzzed. Sarah, how'd it go? She asked. He's processing. That's good. That's healthy. Jessica's lawyer called. Said Jessica wants to continue visits. Monthly for now, supervised for at least 6 months. Tyler said he'd think about it. Smart kid. He doesn't have to commit to anything long term. One visit at a time? Yeah. Andrew, for what it's worth, you're doing this right. Letting him make his own choices. A lot of parents try to control this part. You're not. I'm just trying not to screw him up more than he already is. He's not screwed up. He's resilient. There's a difference. I hope she was right. Summer came. Tyler started the cybersecurity program at the community college, youngest in the class by 4 years. His instructor called me after the first week. Your son is exceptional, she said. I don't use that word lightly. But the way he thinks about systems, about vulnerabilities, it's intuitive, natural. Has he been coding long? About a year. Remarkable. If he keeps this trajectory, he could have a real career in this field. I thought about Tyler at 10 years old moving $80,000 through a cryptocurrency wallet he'd learned about on YouTube. Yeah, I said. I think you're right. The second visit with Jessica happened in early June. Tyler was quieter about it this time. Didn't ask as many questions beforehand, just went in, came out 30 minutes later. She got a job, he told me in the car, working at a veterinary clinic, receptionist. She said she likes it because the animals don't judge her. How do you feel about that? He shrugged. Good, I guess. She should work, have something to do. Did she ask about school? Yeah. I told her about the coding program. She seemed proud. Did she ask about the college fund? Tyler looked at me. No, I think she knows better. July, Tyler finished the cybersecurity program, top marks. The instructor gave him a certificate and a recommendation letter for when he eventually applied to colleges. Keep this somewhere safe, she told him. You're going to need it. Tyler filed it carefully in a folder he kept in his desk. College applications, financial aid information, scholarship deadlines. He was 11 and already planning 7 years ahead. I should have been proud. I was proud, but I also wished he could just be a kid. The third visit was different. Tyler went in, came out 20 minutes later, early. You okay? I asked. She asked if I could forgive her yet. What did you say? I said I was working on it. That forgiveness isn't something you decide. It's something that happens, or doesn't. Alinda, the supervisor, caught my eye, nodded. Approval. Jessica came out a few minutes later. Her eyes were red. Her lawyer walked her to the car. Tyler watched them go. I don't think she understands, VD said. She keeps asking for forgiveness, like it's something I can give her, like signing a paper, but it's not. No, it's not. I told her I needed time, that I needed to see her be consistent, that words are easy, but actions matter. 11 years old, sounding like a therapist. How did she take it? She cried, said she understood, said she'd wait as long as it takes. He paused. I don't think she will, though. Why not? Because waiting is hard, and Mom doesn't like hard things. That's why she left in the first place. August, start of 6th grade, new school, middle school. Tyler was nervous. First time I'd seen him nervous about school in months. What if the other kids are weird about the divorce, he asked. What if they ask questions? Tell them as much or as little as you want. It's your business. But what if they know? Small town. People talk. He wasn't wrong. Then they know, I said. And they'll either be decent about it or they won't. But that's on them, not you. What if they're not decent? Then you find the kids who are, and you ignore the rest. He thought about that. Like how you found Ray when Grandpa was being a jerk? I hadn't realized he knew about that. Yeah, I said, like that. The visits with Jessica continued. Once a month, supervised. Tyler went, came home, processed. Some months were better than others. September's visit, she brought him a gift. A book about coding. Thoughtful, appropriate. She's trying, he said. Yeah. Does that matter, that she's trying? It matters. It doesn't fix everything, but it matters. October's visit, she forgot to show up. Called 2 hours late, apologizing, said she'd mixed up the time. Tyler didn't say much, just added it to whatever mental ledger he was keeping. November, 1 year since he'd told me at the kitchen table. Since everything had fallen apart. Do you ever regret telling me? I asked him. No. Why? Because it changed everything. Your whole life got turned upside down. It was already turning, he said. I just controlled how it happened. December, Jessica asked if she could take Tyler for a few hours. Unsupervised. Coffee shop, then maybe a walk. Linda thought he was ready. Sarah thought it was reasonable. The therapist Tyler had been seeing since spring said it was his choice. I asked Tyler. I want to, he said. But I'm scared. Of what? That she'll leave again. That I'll start to trust her and she'll just disappear. That's possible. So I shouldn't do it? I didn't say that. I said it's possible. But so is the possibility that she shows up, that she's consistent, that she earns your trust back. Which one do you think will happen? I thought about Jessica, the woman I'd married, The woman who'd left. The woman who'd been going to therapy, working at the vet clinic, showing up to supervised visits. I don't know, I said. I want to believe she'll show up, but I don't know. That's honest, at least. It's all I've got. He thought about it for 3 days. Then he told Linda he'd try one unsupervised visit. 2 hours, he said, at the coffee shop near the library, public place, and if she's even 5 minutes late, I'm leaving. The morning of the visit, Tyler checked his watch 6 times, changed his shirt twice, combed his hair. You don't have to go, I reminded him. I want to. Okay. I drove him to the coffee shop, sat in the parking lot, watching. Jessica's car pulled in, right on time. Tyler got out of my truck, walked to her. She said something. He nodded. They went inside. I sat there for 2 hours, brought a book, didn't read a word of it. When they came out, Jessica hugged him, brief. He didn't pull away, but he didn't lean in either. She walked to her car. He walked to my truck, got in. How was it? I asked. Okay. We talked about school, about the coding program, about normal stuff. That's good. Yeah. He buckled his seatbelt. She asked if we could do it again next month. What did you say? I said maybe, that I'd let her know. I pulled out of the parking lot. Jessica's car was already gone. Dad? Yeah? I don't think I'll ever forget what she did, or completely trust her again, but I think I might be able to have some kind of relationship with her. Not like before, but something. That's fair. Is that enough? For her, I mean? I don't know. But it's what you've got to give, and that's all anyone can ask for. Winter settled in. Tyler and I found our rhythm. Weekday mornings, breakfast, school drop-off, I'd head to work, new job, HVAC company on the other side of town. Better pay, better hours. I'd quit the old place. Too many memories of picking up weekend calls to pay for a roof we didn't need. Tyler joined the school's computer club, made friends with 2 other kids, Marcus and David. I tried not to flinch every time Tyler said the name Marcus. Different kid, good kid. Not the Marcus who'd ruined our lives. They're teaching me about penetration testing, Tyler said one night at dinner. What's that? Ethical hacking. You test systems to find vulnerabilities before bad actors do. It's what I want to do, as a career. Of course it was. You're 12, almost 12, and I can start building skills now. Marcus's dad works in cybersecurity. He said there are certifications I can start working toward in high school. Marcus's dad, huh? Yeah, he's cool. Said if I stay interested, he might be able to set up an internship when I'm older. I thought about how Tyler had penetration tested our family's finances, found the vulnerability, exploited it before someone else could. That sounds good, I said. January, Tyler turned 12. This time he wanted a party, small one. Just Marcus, David, and a couple kids from his coding program. We had it at the house, pizza, cake, normal 12-year-old stuff. I stayed in the kitchen mostly, gave them space, but I watched. Tyler laughing. Actually laughing. Being a kid. Ray showed up late with a gift, programming textbook, advanced level. Figured he'd already outgrown the beginner stuff, Ray said. Tyler lit up. Spent the rest of the party showing his friends different sections. After everyone left, Tyler helped clean up. We worked in comfortable silence. Good party? I asked. Yeah, really good. Jessica called earlier, wished you happy birthday, left a message. And he stopped wiping the table. What did she say? She sang happy birthday, said she loved you, said she hoped you had a good day. Did you tell her about the party? No, figured that was your choice. He finished wiping, folded the cloth, put it in the sink. I'll call her tomorrow, he said. Maybe. Okay. Is that bad, that I don't want to call her today? No, it's your birthday. You get to decide how you spend it. He nodded, went to his room. I heard him later, on the phone, talking to someone. Couldn't hear the words, but the tone was light. His friends, probably, not Jessica. Spring came around again. Tyler's second visit to the community college program. They'd invited him back. Advanced track this time. His instructor pulled me aside after the first session. He's doing graduate level work, she said. I'm not exaggerating. The way he understands encryption, network security, it's exceptional. He's had practice, I said. She gave me a look. I don't need details. But whatever he's been through, he's channeled it into something productive. That's rare. April. Jessica requested another unsupervised visit. Tyler agreed. This time they went to lunch, a restaurant he chose. He came home 2 hours later. How was it? I asked. Fine. We talked about her therapy, about what she's learning, about why she made the choices she made, and she's taking responsibility, I think. She didn't make excuses. Didn't blame Dad or Marcus or anyone else. Just said she was selfish and scared and weak. How did that feel to hear? Weird. Better than excuses, I guess. but weird. He went to his room, checked his bank account. He still did it every Sunday, but he'd added Wednesday checks too, after every visit with Jessica, just to be sure. May, end of 6th grade. Tyler brought home straight A's again. Honor roll, perfect attendance. His teacher wrote a note on his report card. Tyler is an outstanding student. His maturity and work ethic are beyond his years, because he'd had to grow up at 10. I'm proud of you, I said. Thanks. I mean it. You've been through hell, and you're still showing up. Still working hard, that takes strength. He shrugged, uncomfortable with the praise. It's just school, Dad. It's not just school. It's you deciding that what happened to you won't define what you do next. That's huge. He was quiet. Tyler. Yeah. You know you can stop checking the bank account, right? It's safe. She can't touch it. I know. But you still check. Habit, I guess. Or control. He looked at me. Maybe. Is that bad? No, but maybe we could work on it. Together. The therapist said I know what she said. That I'm hypervigilant. That I use checking behaviors to manage anxiety. We talk about it. And I'm working on it, but I'm not ready to stop yet. Fair enough. June, another letter. Jessica's lawyer. Tyler opened it this time. Read it himself. She wants monthly visits to continue, he said, unsupervised. She's asking if I'd consider spending a weekend with her eventually. Not now, but eventually. Now, what do you think? I think eventually is a long time away. That's not an answer. I think I'm not ready. I think maybe I'll never be ready for a weekend. But maybe I'm okay with the monthly coffee. For now. That's fair. He put the letter on the table. Can we tell her that I'm okay with monthly visits but nothing more right now? We can tell her anything you want. July. Tyler, at the community college program again. I picked him up after his last session. He was carrying his certificate. Highest marks in the class. Instructor wants me to apply for a scholarship, he said in the car. There's a program for gifted students in STEM. Full ride to a summer camp next year. Advanced cybersecurity training. That's amazing. I'd be gone for 6 weeks, out of state. Okay. You'd be okay with that, me being gone? Tyler, you're 12. By next summer, you'll be 13. 6 weeks at a summer program sounds incredible? But what about what? I don't know, you. The house. What if something happens and I'm not here? There it was, the real fear. Not that he'd miss home, that he was needed, that his absence would cause collapse. Nothing's gonna happen, I said. And even if it did, I'd figure it out. That's my job, not yours. But, Tyler, I'm the parent. You're the kid. I know the last couple years have scrambled that up some. But we're resetting it now. You get to go to summer camp and be a kid. I get to stay home and handle adult stuff. Deal? He was quiet for a long time. Deal, he said finally. August. Start of 7th grade. Tyler taller now, voice starting to change. Still serious, still careful. But lighter, somehow. He came home from the first day of school and announced he'd joined the robotics club. Robotics? Yeah, they build robots and compete. It's cool. My friend David's in it. That sounds fun. It is. And Dad? Yeah? I didn't check the bank account yesterday or today. Oh, I know I'm supposed to check Sundays and Wednesdays, but I forgot. And then I remembered I forgot, and I just didn't. I put down the vegetables I was chopping. How did that feel? Scary for like a minute, then fine. That's good. That's really good. The therapist will be proud. I'm proud. He rolled his eyes. 12-year-old response. Normal kid response. Don't be weird, Dad. Can't help it. Comes with the territory. He grabbed an apple, went to his room. I stood there in the kitchen of our smaller, better house and felt something I hadn't felt in almost 2 years. Hope. September. The letter came. Tyler was at school. Jessica's lawyer. Not a request this time. A notice. She was filing for revised custody terms. Wanted bi-weekly unsupervised visits. Wanted holiday visitation. Wanted to be part of Tyler's life in a more formal way. Sarah called an hour later. You saw the filing, she said. Yeah. Jessica's lawyer is claiming she's been consistent for 10 months, that she's proven herself, that Tyler deserves regular contact with his mother. What does that mean for us? It means we go back to court. Tyler's 12 now. Old enough that the judge will consider his preference strongly, but not old enough to decide entirely on his own. What should I do? Talk to Tyler. Find out what he wants. If he wants more time with her, we don't fight it. If he doesn't, we present his reasons and let the judge decide. Tyler came home from school. Robotics practice had run late. He was talking about servo motors and programming autonomous movement. I let him finish. Then I showed him the letter. He read it twice. She filed without asking me first, he said. Yeah. We've been doing monthly coffee. She knows that's all I'm comfortable with. and she just filed. Her lawyer probably advised it, probably said 10 months of consistent visits means she has standing, but she didn't ask me. No, she didn't. He set the letter down. I need to think. Take your time. He thought for 3 days. On the third day, he came to me while I was making dinner. I want to see her, he said. One more unsupervised visit, but I want to tell her something. And I want to do it without Linda there. Okay, what do you want to tell her? That I'm glad she's doing better, that I can see she's trying, but that I'm not ready for what she's asking. And that filing without talking to me first felt like she was deciding for me again, like with the college fund, like with leaving. Jesus, 12 years old. You want me to set it up? Yeah, same coffee shop, this weekend if she can. Saturday morning, I drove Tyler to the coffee shop, waited in the parking lot. Jessica was already there. Sitting at a table by the window, I could see her hands shaking as she added sugar to her coffee. Tyler walked in, sat down across from her. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but I could see. Tyler talking, calm, measured, Jessica listening, then responding. Tyler shaking his head, Jessica's face crumpling, Tyler staying in his seat, not leaving, not comforting, just present. 45 minutes. Then Tyler stood, said something. Jessica nodded. He walked out, got in the truck. How did it go? I asked. I told her I appreciated the visits, that I could see she was trying, but that I wasn't ready for more, that I needed her to respect my pace. What did she say? She cried. Said she understood. Said she'd withdraw the filing. Said she just wanted to be part of my life. And you said? I said she is part of my life. Monthly coffee, that's part of my life. But it's the part I'm comfortable with right now. And that trying to force more would just push me away. How did she take it? She asked when I'd be ready for more. What did you tell her? That I don't know. Maybe never. Maybe someday. But that it had to be my choice. And that choices take time. I pulled out of the parking lot. I'm proud of you, I said. You keep saying that. Because I keep meaning it. He looked out the window. She said she was proud of me too, said I was strong, said I reminded her of you. What did you say to that? I said I hoped that was true, because you showed up, every day. Even when it was hard, my throat was tight. Tyler, she withdrew the filing, right there. Called her lawyer on speaker, told him to drop it, said monthly visits were fine. That's good. Yeah, I think so. He paused. Dad? Yeah? I don't think I'll ever have the relationship with her that I had before. The before Marcus her, that person is gone. Probably. But I think I might be able to have a different relationship. Not close, not like a normal mom, but something. Where we see each other sometimes, where she knows about my life, where I'm not angry anymore. That sounds reasonable. Is it enough? For her? Tyler, it's enough for you. That's all that matters. We stopped for lunch on the way home. Burgers. Tyler got a milkshake. Chocolate, his favorite. The robotics competition is next month, he said. Our team made it to regionals. That's great. Would you come? Watch? Of course. Mom asked if she could come too, to the next competition. If we make it past regionals. What did you tell her? I said maybe, that I'd think about it. And are you? Thinking about it. Yeah, I think it might be okay, her being there. Watching me do something I'm good at, something that has nothing to do with what happened. That sounds healthy. The therapist would say the same thing. Smart therapist. He smiled. Small, but real. We finished lunch, drove home. Tyler went to his room, worked on his robot. I sat in the living room, thought about Tyler at 10 years old, old eyes, soggy Cheerios, a USB drive in his pocket. Thought about Tyler at 12, still serious, still careful, but building robots with friends, going to summer programs, setting boundaries with his mother. Not fixed, not healed, but better, and maybe that was enough. October. The leaves turned. Tyler's robotics team made it to regionals, then to state. Jessica came to the state competition, sat 3 rows behind us, cheered when Tyler's team won 3rd place. After, she congratulated him. Brief, appropriate, then she left. That was okay, Tyler said on the drive home. Her being there. Yeah? Yeah, it felt normal, like how other kids' parents show up to stuff. Good. November, 2 years since the kitchen table. Since everything fell apart. Tyler didn't mention it. Neither did I. But that night, after dinner, he asked if we could look at colleges. You're 12, I said. I know, but I want to start planning. Want to know what I'm working toward. And so we sat at the kitchen table, different house, different life, and looked at computer science programs. MIT, Stanford, Carnegie Mellon. These are expensive, he said. You've got a college fund. Yeah, $89,000. That won't cover 4 years at MIT. So we'll figure out the rest. Scholarships, maybe student loans, We'll make it work. You'd do that. Help me with loans. Tyler, of course. He pulled up a financial aid calculator, started entering numbers. If I maintain my GPA, he said, and if I get some certifications, and if I do well on the SATs, that's a lot of ifs. I like plans. I've noticed. He grinned, kept calculating. I watched him, this kid who'd saved us, who'd grown up too fast but was finding his way back to being 12, who checked bank accounts less often, who built robots, who had friends, who was planning a future he almost lost. Dad? Yeah? Thanks. For what? For letting me figure out the mom thing on my own, for not making me choose, for just being here. That's my job. Yeah, well, you're good at it. He went back to his college research. Outside, the neighbor's dog barked. Somebody down the street was raking leaves. Normal sounds, normal life. Our life, just ours. The November air was cold enough that we'd started running the heat at night. Tyler complained about the gas bill. He'd started tracking our expenses. Just to practice, he said. But I knew it was more than that. Some habits die hard. We can afford it, I told him. I promise. And he nodded, kept entering numbers into his spreadsheet. My phone buzzed. Sarah, just checking in, she said when I answered. How's Tyler doing? Good. Looking at colleges. And he's 12. I know, but he likes to plan. She laughed. Of course he does. Andrew, I wanted to let you know, Jessica's lawyer contacted me. She wants to formalize the monthly visits. Put them in the custody agreement officially. No change to frequency, just documentation. What did you tell him? That I'd talk to you. And Tyler. I looked at Tyler, head down, focused on his laptop. I'll ask him, I said. Let me know. But Andrew, you did good. Both of you. This whole thing could have gone a lot worse. Yeah. We hung up. Tyler. Jessica wants to make the monthly visits official. Put them in the custody paperwork? Would that be okay with you? He looked up, thought about it. Yeah, he said. That's okay. Makes sense to have it written down. You're sure? Dad, it's just coffee once a month. I can handle it. Just coffee once a month. With the mother who tried to leave him behind. The mother who was trying to earn her way back. The mother he might never fully trust again, but was willing to see once a month anyway. 12 years old, and already understanding what most adults never learn. That forgiveness isn't all or nothing. That you can hold space for someone without letting them all the way back in. That healing doesn't mean forgetting. Okay, I said. I'll tell Sarah. And he went back to his college research. I sat there with my coffee, watching the steam rise. 2 years ago, I'd sat in a different kitchen in a different house, learning that everything I'd believed about my life was a lie. Learning it from my 10-year-old son, who'd been brave enough to tell me. Now I sat in our smaller, better house watching that same son, older, wiser, still here, plan a future that was his to build. Some things break, some things bend. And some things, if you're lucky, find a way to be better than they were before. Not healed, not whole, but better. And maybe that was the point.